Hello, everyone. Good evening. How are you doing today?
Hello, teacher. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Good?
Good, teacher.
Hi, teacher. Yes.
Good. All right, excellent, guys. Perfect. So let me show you our agenda today. We'll start right away because we have a lot to cover today. This is our final class. So this is the first part of our last class for this cycle B2.4. Remember that tomorrow we'll have the final exam. All right, so in this class we have a lot to cover today, as you will see in the agenda. All right, so first we'll check the homework very quickly for the use of words with well, right? Well behaved, well informed, etc. And then we will start with a short game, a short activity about our topic. So it's ellipsis and substitution. So this activity is just to see, to test how much you know about this topic. Don't worry if you don't get all the answers correct. That's the idea for us to test and see how we are. And then we will start watching a video about ellipsis and substitution, the use of reduced relative clauses, the use of pronouns, this or that, and also when we refer to other parts of the text. So hopefully we will be able to cover everything and then do some practice on page 100. So if we can't finish or do the practice, then this will be for you as extra activity, extra practice for you to study this stuff, all right? So let's start. As I mentioned, we will start checking the homework. I will want you to socialize the answers. And after this, I will check attendance and we will start with the class, right? So let's see. In this part, this was the homework. You had to select some adjectives to define these things or people: children, shops, exam candidates, holidays, babies, teachers, etc. Okay, from these adjectives that we have here. So let's start with children. Would you like to share which ones did you choose for children? What adjectives are good,
Well
necessary?
educated.
Well educated, we can say well educated.
Teacher,
What else?
maybe well behaved.
Well behaved, hopefully, yes.
Teacher, well dressed.
Well dressed, it can be also well dressed. Maybe this one is most important. Well looked after. Bien cuidados, right? Well looked after. All right, so that is for children. Let's change the color. For shops. A shop, store.
Well paid.
Store, the store is not well paid, but a person is well paid. Okay, so maybe a shop can be well
Teacher,
known. Yeah,
well laid out.
yes, bien organizada, well laid out. Or well known, it's also important. All right. For exam candidates, what's
Well,
important for
well prepared.
well prepared? Mhm.
Well thought out.
Well thought out, bien pensados. Maybe not so much. Well,
Maybe well read.
well read, yes. Before the exam, they have to be well prepared, well read, maybe also well fed. No? Imagine before an exam, if you are not, if you haven't eaten properly, you cannot focus. You will be tired, you will be hungry. So before an exam, you will have to be well fed. All right, let's continue with the teacher. What do you think? Also, well educated.
Well prepared.
Well educated, well prepared, well prepared,
Teacher,
well
well
paid,
earned.
Well
well
informed.
paid. Yes, este es bien ganado. Entonces sería bien pago, well earned. What else? Well chosen, maybe. Also important. All right. Now let's see for, let's change color for purple color here. A holiday. What do you think? A holiday.
Well thought out.
Well thought out, yes. Bien planeada, pensada, well thought out. Well chosen, maybe also. Well, no more, I think. That's all for holidays. Okay, let's use an orange color for babies.
Teacher,
Look
well,
after.
Well looked after. Well
Well
fed.
fed.
Well fed. And, well, those are the most important, right? Well looked after and well fed. Okay, a potential husband or wife.
well educated.
Well
Well balanced.
educated for you. Well,
Maybe well
well
prepared.
chosen. Well, for you it's important. Well prepared. Well chosen. Well earned. No, it's not important for you. This one.
Yes, teacher.
It's good, right? It doesn't hurt. Well, and the other ones. Well read, well prepared, well educated. And for everyone in general, which ones do you find appropriate for people in general? To be well balanced, maybe, right? Everyone.
Well built.
Well built, okay,
Built.
yeah, to have a good fit state, yeah, fitness. Well built, well balanced, well educated, or well behaved is also important for everyone, not only for children, but also everyone should be well behaved, right? Okay, guys, excellent. So that was our homework. Very easy, very short. Now, I want to share with you the link for the survey, the satisfaction survey for this cycle. So I'm sending you the link through the chat. Now, let's have 5 minutes to answer it. Once you answer, please confirm through the chat. So your email address, your names, your code. If you don't know your code or you don't remember, let me know through the chat. I can send it to you. Your ID, type of ID, number of ID. The group is the first, number 1. And then you select the number that you want to give to each item, okay? So please let me know once you are finished. All right, guys. I think we had some time to fill out the survey. So thank you for answering it. Now, let's start with the topic for today. So as I mentioned, we are going to do like a little diagnostic activity for ellipsis and substitution. All right. So here, basically, you need to select the answer that you think it's correct. It's the correct one to complete the sentence. So let me show you the first one, and then I'll give you some time to do it individually, all right? So this one, you don't need to come if you don't think so, do so, or want to, right? In this case, is want to. So this activity, this game has some help, some extra help, the times two score. So if you are sure, you can select it to double your score. Or then you can take two of the options or one of the options, I think, or extra time, right? So you can use that as a little extra help. Okay, so the idea is for you to continue with the activity. We have 15 in total, all right? So I'll give you some minutes to complete it, and then please share your scores on the chat. How many points did you get in the activity? All right, guys, did you complete the activity or not yet?
No yet, teacher.
All right,
Not yet.
couple more minutes. I'll leave this to show you the answers later. All right, guys, excellent. Thank you for sharing your scores. I see them on the chat. Guys, I already checked attendance with your names on the Zoom call because I forgot to do earlier. So I already took the attendances, right? Don't worry if I didn't call your names. I'm checking who is connected in class, okay? So I think the only person missing today is Jeanette. Yeah, she's the only one missing today. All right, so let's compare the answers very quickly. And then we will start with the top, right? So you don't need to come if you don't want to. I've never been to Australia, but I would love to. I've never been to New Zealand, but one day I will. Let's roll down. You didn't call your mom and you should have. Well, in this case, I made a mistake. If you're not willing to ask to take the risk, I'm sure Sam is. The answer here was is. All right? She didn't remember to take the rubbish out, and neither did he. Neither did he. Number 7, are you going to Warsaw for your holiday? We might, but we are not sure. We're still not sure. Please be careful. Don't worry, I will. He doesn't care about us. I guess not, because he never calls. Did they finally find the keys? I guess so, because they didn't call asking for help. I've brought cookies. Do you want one? We can win this game, but in order to do so, we need to believe in ourselves. And number 13, did she get hurt? I hope not. I'll call her later to ask. I know I said I would go with you, but I won't be able to. Is he coming with us? I hope not. I don't really like him. All right, so those were the answers. How did you find the activity? Was it easy for you? Do you already know this, how to do it, or not really? Was it difficult? Did you find it tricky?
A little
Yes,
difficult.
teacher, a little
A
tricky.
little tricky? Yeah, so that's the topic that we're going to cover today. And let's start immediately with the ellipsis part, right? So let's first take a look at what ellipsis means. So we're going to watch a video and then we will read some of the examples and do some practice. So let me open the link for you, just a second. In the video, we'll see some examples of uses of ellipsis and substitution. So let's watch the situations and then we'll listen to the ellipsis explanation.
I hear you and
Can you see the video and listen to it?
Yes, teacher.
All right.
Leo are through to the final of your tennis tournament.
Thank you. Yes, it was a tough match. I didn't play particularly well, and Leo didn't either. But thankfully, we still won. The final is next week.
Who against?
We're playing a mixed doubles pair from the capital who win every match. They have for over a year at least.
Well, I'm sure you and Leo have got every chance of winning. I mean, whenever we play singles, you always beat me, and so does he. If you both play as well as you are capable of, you'll be unstoppable.
Did I mention that I've been going to the gym?
Have you? How long for?
About 2 months. I've been really pushing myself to get fit, but not a lot seems to be happening. I'm getting a bit concerned.
What about?
I'm worried that I'm just wasting my time. Maybe I've just got the wrong body type.
There's no such thing. Anyone can get fit.
Maybe I just don't know how. Have you got any advice for me?
Look, I know how much you love a takeaway, and so do I. But the main thing is you need to stick to a good diet. Without doing so, getting really fit is impossible.
People always think they can get fit but still eat whatever they want. I suppose such ideas are always too good to be true.
Well, such is life. When I first started going to the gym, everyone else could do circuits for hours, but I couldn't.
How did you change things around?
Someone at the gym told me that he stuck to a detailed plan of what to eat every day. I decided to do likewise and changed my diet completely.
So diet is the key then?
It is. Now I eat so well, I can go to the gym and lift such and such, and I find it so much easier to spend over an hour there.
In spoken and written English, we often try to avoid repeating words and phrases when it is already clear what we are referring to. To avoid repetition, we can remove words or replace them with alternatives that refer to what has previously been said. Look at these sentences. Everyone else could do circuits for hours, but I couldn't do circuits for hours. We're playing a mixed doubles pair from the capital who seem to win every match. They have won every match for over a year at least. To not repeat what we have already said, we can omit the repetition of a verb or part of a clause and reduce the sentence. Look at these sentences. Everyone else could do circuits for hours, but I couldn't. We're playing a mixed doubles pair from the capital who seem to win every match. They have for over a year at least. Look at these sentences. Did I mention that I've been going to the gym? Have you? How long have you been going to the gym for? The final is next week. Who is the final going to be against? We can also reduce the questions by removing the information that is repeated or understood by context. Look at these sentences. Did I mention that I've been going to the gym? Have you? How long for? The final is next week. Who against?
All right, so that's the first part. We saw some examples for ellipses. So ellipsis is basically removing or leaving out one word or one phrase, one or more words, and that are obvious from the context. Okay? So this is very common in informal speech or spoken language, right? Not so much in written or more formal, but when people are speaking, they always tend to leave out parts of a speech that they consider they are obvious, right? So let's take a look at some examples that we have here, right? When we have an imperative, so giving someone an order or an instruction, we can say instead of saying be careful or be quiet, we can just say careful or quiet, all right? When we have the imperative verb to be. So be careful, be quiet, we can just say careful or quiet. Also, we can omit pronouns like in a sentence, I don't think so. People can say, don't think so, right? So it's obvious that I am the subject. It's I don't think that. So I can say simply don't think so. Or also I can say don't know. Instead of I don't know, a lot of people can say don't know, right? Also, we can omit a pronoun and the verb to be. So it is or I am. This one is very common, so people don't say it's nice to meet you, they say nice to meet you, right? We can omit it in this situation. Or also, again, very common, you don't say, oh, I'm sorry, you say sorry, right? So we are omitting parts that we consider obvious. Other omissions that we can find, pronoun plus the verb to be plus an article. So it's a nice day. You can just say, oh, nice day. Or it's a pity. We can just say pity, lástima. Es una lástima. It's a pity, just pity. Oh, it's a good thing that you were here. Good thing that you were here. Good thing you were here to help. All right? Also, we can omit the first part, auxiliary plus the pronoun. Have you got time? This one is very long. It's a very long sentence when we are speaking. Have you got the time? People could say, got the time? Like, can you tell me the time? Or instead of saying, are you coming? You can say, coming. Or have you finished? You can say, finished. I use this one a lot when I'm asking you about the activities, right? Have you finished or finished yet? All right, so these are called ellipses, right? Omitting parts of the speech. Also, we omit words after an auxiliary verb, as we saw in the video, to avoid repetition. So let's read the example here in orange. Julian, can you read the example, please? The sentence in orange.
If you're not prepared to lend me the money, then I sure Jeffrey is prepared to lend me the money.
Yeah, Jeffrey is. So here we have the auxiliary verb is the verb to be. You are not prepared to lend me the money. So I'm sure Jeffrey is. You can see the difference. Here we are talking about you, so you are. But here we change the subject, is Jeffrey. So for he, she, it, we use is. You are not prepared, but he is. So we omit is prepared to lend me the money. This information is obvious, right? So we don't include it in the sentence, we omit it. Yes, Julian?
So teacher, if we say then I'm sure Jeffrey yes instead, it is correctly or
If Jeffrey yes?
yes?
No.
Like español, como que
No, yeah,
seguro que Jeffrey sí.
it would be a translation from Spanish, but that one would be incorrect. If you are not prepared, then Jeffrey, yes, no. El sí lo está, right? Yes, Jeffrey is, okay? So we don't say yes, we use the auxiliary verb. If you are not prepared, then Jeffrey is, okay? Another example with another auxiliary verb. If you don't have the time, I'm sure my mom, okay, let's try. What do you think it is the correct article or auxiliary, sorry, to complete the sentence? If you don't have the time, I'm sure my mom
does.
Very good, yes. If you don't have the time, so here we change the auxiliary, it's don't, or the auxiliary verb do. If you don't have the time, I'm sure my mom does, all right? So that's to avoid repeating this. I'm sure my mom does have time, okay? So we avoid repetition. Now here, if a verb is followed by an infinitive with to, we include the to but omit the verb. So let's read the example. Natalia, can you read the example number 3, please?
Okay, teacher. There's no need to stay if you don't want to.
Yes, so there is no need to stay. So if the verb has the infinitive form to, we use the to, but we omit the verb. There is no need to stay if you don't want to, and we omit the last part, if you don't want to. Okay, another example for this. And we okay, it would be similar with the verb want to. This is one of the most common like uses with the verb want. You don't have to speak if you don't want to. Oh, I missed the last part. If you don't want to, all right? So we have it here. The infinitive is in the verb, so we repeat it, but we omit the verb at the end, okay? If you don't want to do it. And well, number 4, if something has been mentioned earlier, we often leave it out or is often missed out, okay? For example, would you like a glass of juice? You say, yes, please. The question would be apple or orange. We would omit the information juice because it has already been mentioned. Apple or orange? You say orange, please, right? It's clear that we are referring to juice, apple or orange, okay? So that is ellipsis, to omit certain information in the sentence, all right? Any questions about it? No? All right, let's continue. So here we have substitution, all right? We saw ellipsis. In the video, we also saw some examples of substitution. So let's take a look. Substitution is when we use one word, one single word, to replace a phrase, right? A longer sentence. And this is often done to avoid repetition, okay? The common substitutions that we can do are with one or ones. Okay, let's start reading the example. One is used to substitute single thing countable noun. So tomato, apple, house, countable things, but only one, right? A single thing. Let's read the examples. Maveli, can you read the first example here for one?
I love to have a dog, but my mom won't let me have one.
Yeah, all right. So we are omitting this information. I love to have a dog, but avoiding repetition, sorry. We are substituting this information with one to avoid repetition. I love to have a dog, but my mom will let me have a dog. No, it sounds bad, repetitive. So we say, don't let me have one. All right. Jessie, can you read the next one? Sorry. Once is used for plural countable nouns. So read the next example, please.
Which shoes look better, the brown ones or the black ones?
So here we have multiple things, more than one, countable. Which shoes are better or look better? The brown ones, los marrones, or the black ones, or los negros, right? So this is a use of one or ones. Julie Lisette? Julie? Lisette? Are you here? Okay, Lisette. Your audio is not working. All right, so that's for one and ones. Now let's check some. Okay, what's the use of some? Some is used to substitute uncountable nouns. Money, water, time, all the nouns that are uncountable, we use some. Sylvia, can you read the example, please?
Okay. This ice cream is gorgeous. Would you like some?
So ice cream in English is uncountable because it's a product derived from milk. All dairy products are uncountable. So we say, would you like some? We can say ice cream cone. Si decimos cone de helado, sería, would you like one? Okay? So when they are uncountable, we use some. With countable, we use one. Okay? All right, that's first one and some. Then we can use also auxiliaries, do or does. This replaces the verb plus the object. So let's see the examples. Jose, please read both examples in do or does.
Okay, teacher. I don't like football, but my wife does. I have to get up really early tomorrow. I don't.
All right, yeah, so I don't like football, but my wife does. Does like football. We are omitting the verb, substituting the verb plus the object. I have to get up early. We are substituting this verb. I don't have to get up early, right? So that's the use for do or does in substitution. And then we have so. So substitutes a clause, so it's a longer sentence. Let's read the example. Does this bus go to the station? I don't think so. I don't think this bus goes to the station, all right? So look at the difference. This do or does omits the verb plus the object. I will put an example here. So to use do or does with this sentence, Does this bus go to the station? We could say, I don't think it does. The bus, right? ¿Crees que este bus va a la estación? No creo que lo hace. I don't think it does. It does. Or we can say, I don't think so, right? No lo creo. So here we are substituting a whole clause. Toda la cláusula. I don't think this bus goes to the station. All right? So we have do, does, and we have so. All right, just a second, guys, and we will continue. Just one moment. All right. Okay, and finally we have so or neither plus or nor plus the auxiliary. This substitutes a whole clause also, okay? Let's see the use of so do I, or neither do I, nor do I. Jean-Claude, can you read the examples, please? Or so, neither, or nor.
Yes, teacher. Which examples? Sorry.
The last two examples here.
Teacher, no alcanzo a leer.
Okay.
We are, el de, bueno, so neither nor más auxiliary. We are going to Spain for our holidays. So are we. I'm not taking a holiday this year. Neither nor am I.
Neither or nor am I. Yes, so thank you. For positive things, we say so. We are going to Spain. Oh, so are we. Nosotros también. So are we. Okay? Or for negative things, we can say, I'm not taking a holiday, neither, oh, nor am I. Neither am I, nor am I. Another example. I work in a school. To make a response using so, how can I do it? I work in a school. Oh, another person tell me so. If we use an auxiliary, so, what would be the auxiliary here? So the formula is so, neither nor, plus an auxiliary verb, plus the subject. I work in a school. Para decir yo también. What would be the auxiliary?
Am.
Aquí en esta oración hay am o is o are.
Do.
Do, yes. So it's the present simple. I have to use the auxiliary for present simple. I work in a school, so do I. Okay? Si fuera so he, entonces sería so does he. Oh, él también. So does he. Okay? If it's negative, I don't work in a hospital. Okay, I don't work in a hospital. I can say neither do I. Aquí ya está el negativo neither, entonces el auxiliar queda normalito, de su forma básica. Neither do I, or neither does he. Okay? Neither does he. All right? So we have with ing, vimos ya con el auxiliar am, is, or, con el auxiliar do o does. Vamos a ver con otro auxiliar. I have visited many places. So, ¿Cuál usaríamos ahí? I have visited many places. ¿Cuál sería el auxiliar acá? So are.
Have.
So have I. So have I. Para otro sujeto sería so has she. Oh, ella también. So has she. Okay, wait, wait. So has she, right? In the negative, it would be the same. I haven't visited many places, or neither have I, neither has she, okay? So we always use the auxiliary verb from the sentence. Siempre usamos el auxiliar de la oración, all right? It's clear, this part?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, good. Now we're going to practice, guys. So we're going to explain a little bit and practice a little bit. So we are going to cover each topic, all right? So here you need to rewrite. First, we have two exercises. Rewrite the sentences without the unnecessary words. So what are the unnecessary words? Remove them from these two sentences. Also, we're going to replace any repetitive phrases with the correct form of the word in parentheses. Okay, so here we have the word do and the word so. All right, I'll give you 4 or 5 minutes to check the sentences and then we will correct them, okay? First, eliminate, and second is to substitute. Lisette, can you open your microphone? Lisette Liscano. Lisette, you need to exit the Zoom and come back. I think there's a problem with your device. Okay, it's not from me, but it may be your device not allowing you to open the microphone. All right, let me know when you are ready, guys, and we will check.
Hi, teacher.
Hi,
Can you hear
Lisa.
me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Thank you.
All right, good. All right, let's correct it, guys. So, let's start. Lisette Tarazona. The first one, what information did you omit?
Okay, teacher. Well, I did offer to map read, but you wouldn't let me.
It's correct. You wouldn't let me. So we omit the last part. All right. Let's see Andres for the second sentence.
Okay, teacher. You always get us lots, or you did last time?
Yeah, or you did last time. So we omit this information.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. And now for the substitution part, let's see Gerson. The first sentence, my friend works in the same building as you.
Okay, teacher. My friend works in the same building as you. I know he works do.
No, we omit all the verb in the sentence.
But in this case, I have to add the verb. No?
You have to add. How do you add it? Yes.
I know do.
I know he.
He do.
He
Sorry,
does.
he
He does.
He does. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry, he does.
I know he does. I met him in the lift the other day. So we omit all this sentence. We substituted, sorry. I know he does. We omit works in the same building as me. We are repeating this, so we take it, okay? We substitute it. I know he does. I met him in the lift the other day. Yes, Julian? For the second one?
Yes, but I have an answer. Question, sorry.
Okay, so the question first.
Yes. If I say I know he do as me, it is correct?
No, because this is also included in the information. He does. You don't need to repeat as me. All right, so I know he does. What does he do? He works in the same building as you. All right, so does summarizes all of that information, all of that sentence. Okay.
Okay. So the second one.
The second one.
That man that just went by was the lead singer of the Octagons. I thought He was sour. He was sour. His face looked familiar.
Okay. In this case, we can omit all the clause. El sujeto, el verbo y toda la cláusula. I thought so. His face looked familiar. Omitimos o sustituimos. He was the lead singer of the octave. Okay. Todo con el sujeto y el verbo. I thought so. Okay. His face looked familiar. All right. Okay, guys, so that is substitution. We need to continue, so let's move on to the next part is reduced relative clauses, okay? Well, in here we have another video. This one is shorter, so we're going to watch it together and then we'll see the examples and do some practice, okay? So for reduced relative clauses, let's take a look at the video. Okay, can you see it and listen to it?
Yes, teacher.
Hi guys, how are you? Teacher Mario here. Before starting today's lesson, please check out our Instagram account description. Now, we're going to dive into the first topic from unit number 8, reduce relative clauses. Today, we will talk about relative clauses in 3 ways we can reduce them. Keep in mind that a relative clause functions as an adjective because they add information about the people or thing we are talking about. So, now, the first method of reduction. You can shorten a relative clause by dropping the relative pronoun and the verb be. Let's see some examples. Number 1. Someone who or that is able to think quickly might be a good surgeon. Changes to someone able to think quickly might be a good surgeon. Number 2. A person who or that is trained in music might be a good DJ. Also changes to a person trained in music might be a good DJ. Now, the second method.
All right, so that's the first reduction that we can use. Dropping the relative pronoun who or that. Someone able to think quickly or a person trained in music might be a good DJ. Okay?
Of reduction. When having a present simple verb on your relative clause, you can also drop who or that and change the verb to a gerund. Let's go through some examples. Number 1. Someone who or that needs job security might not want to be a jazz musician. Changes to someone needing job security might not want to be a jazz musician. Just erasing the relative pronoun in needs becomes needing. Number 2, a person who or that works 6 days a week might not have an active social life. Also changes to a person working 6 days a week might not have an active social life.
Okay, this one is a bit different because we have the clause, the relative clause, who or that, the relative pronoun, plus the verb in present simple. So this, we can change it, omitting the who or that, and we transform the verb into a gerund. So someone who needs job security can become someone needing job security might not want to be in a jazz musician. Okay? Again, a person who works 6 days a week can become a person working 6 days a week might not have an active social life.
Now, time for the third method of reduction. In relative clauses, the structure who or that plus have or has is replaced using the preposition with. Let's see some examples. Number one, a person who has a good voice could be a good TV journalist. Changes to a person with a good voice could be a good TV journalist.
Right? So in this case, it's for that plus have or has, the posición. A person who has a good voice, in this case, we can replace it using with. A person with a good voice could be a good TV journalist, right? So who or that plus have or has. We can transform it to with, person with a good voice. Okay? Well, let's stop the video right there and we will continue on our presentation. Okay? Let's take a look at other examples and then we will practice. All right. In this, the relative pronoun, the verb to be, is omitted. So students taking the exam, as we saw in the video. Students who are taking the exam, we can say, students taking the exam need to register before the 12th of May. The songs written by Clyde tend to have more frequent word changes. Okay? So, in here, we have a big difference between when to use ing and when to use ed. So, pay attention. The sentence is in present simple. Please return all equipment which belongs to the club. This is present simple, right? This sentence is in active voice, which belongs to the club. So here, because it's active, we use ing. Please return all the equipment belonging to the club. We use ing. All right? Active sentence, which belongs, becomes belonging, as we saw in the video, the same example that we had in the video. But in the video, we didn't have the next part. So when we talk about a passive sentence in passive voice, are experienced. Esta es la voz pasiva, ¿no? Que son experimentados. Tienen, si son experimentados, are experienced, okay? In this case, we need to use ed. Usamos la terminación ed, ¿ok? O la forma del participio pasado. En este caso sería ed. Employees who are experienced do not need training. Experienced employees do not need training, okay? So in active sentences, we use ing. In passive sentences, recordemos la estructura de la voz pasiva, el verbo to be más el pasado participio. To be written, to be visited, okay? This is a passive voice. So in these cases, we use the past participle. También usamos la forma ed en la otra oración que escribamos, right? So that is the difference between ing and ed in these cases. Those are the reduced relative clauses. So to make it a bit more clear, we're going to practice. We have 3 sentences here. I'll give you some time to reduce the information. So remember, what is the information that we reduce is the relative pronouns, okay? Who is running, who are rich, who come from outside, okay? So use the examples to help you reduce the clause, and then we will socialize the answers, all right? Again, 4 or 5 minutes, and we will check together. All right, guys, let's compare your answers. Let's take a look. So, for example, Silvia, for the first sentence, how did you
Teacher, I don't know if I'm wrong. Rich people often have no idea what it's like to have little or no money.
Yes, it's correct. So we transform people who are rich to rich people often have no idea. It's correct. Let's see, maybe Natalia for the second one.
Okay, teacher, I'm not sure. What do you know about the man running for president?
Yes, it's correct. What do you know about the man running for president? It's good. And finally, maybe Jose. Travelers who come from outside of Europe will need to have a visa. How did you do it?
Travelers coming.
Mhm. Coming from outside of Europe will need to have a visa. All right? So that is the reduced relative clause. Okay? It's good. Do we have questions? No questions? It's clear? All right. So we continue, guys. Now, next part is about pronouns, okay? We're going to see different uses of pronouns. First, the personal pronouns, reciprocal, and reflexive. So do not worry about these big words. We're just going to analyze how to use pronouns, I, he, she, it, you, and how to use them in abbreviating or shortening sentences, right? So, first one, if the pronoun is used alone or in isolation, we always use the object form of the pronoun. What is the object? Me, you, him, her. Those are the object pronouns, right? Not I, but me, or him, or her, or our, okay? That is the object pronoun. So, for example, who would like to start? We don't say I. We would say me, okay? Or we would say us, nosotros, not we, okay? We would say them, not they, okay? That is the object, okay? In this case, so we say me, the object pronoun form. In modern English, we use the object pronouns as the complement of the phrase. So, who left the door open? It was me. Okay, no, it was I. En español decimos no fui yo, I. In English, we would use the object pronoun me. Okay, it was me. Well, now to talk about the sex of a person, right? Or gender of a person. When it's not clear or unimportant, we have different options. Well, the first option that it's recommended is we use he or she or his or her, depending on the likelihood or the probability of the person being male or female. I wouldn't recommend this one nowadays. I would prefer to use they or them in case we don't know if the person is man, woman, right? If we don't have the information. This one is like assuming that because we're talking about a teacher, it might be a woman, her, right? So I don't agree with this part very much about the likelihood or the probability. Imagine if I say, I'll visit the doctor to make sure his patients are on time, right? I don't know if the doctor is a man or a woman, so I wouldn't use his or her, right? So this one I wouldn't recommend. I would recommend the use of they or them when we don't know, okay? There is someone waiting to see you. What do they want? Or can you ask them to wait for a moment, okay? When we don't know, we use they or them. And also we can use you. This is very commonly used when we talk about people in general, okay? So you never know what you're going to find. This one is also used in Spanish. Nunca sabes qué vas a encontrar, right? This is to talk about in general, people in general. Oh, you never know what you're going to find, okay? So we can also use the pronoun one, but this one is more formal. This is used in a very formal context. This also means people in general. So let's read the example. Jessie, can you read the example for the pronoun one as?
As one walks through the city, one is constantly reminiscent of its turbulence history.
Yeah, okay. So en Spanish diríamos, mientras uno camina por la ciudad, uno es recordado, sí, o se le recuerda de la historia. Okay, so this is, in English, is more formal. As one walks through the city, one is constantly reminded. This talks about people in general, okay? Well, here, if we don't have who the speaker is, si no sabemos quién realiza la acción, quién está realizando la acción, decimos they. They are building a new sports center opposite the station. We don't know who is. Is it a company? Is it one person? So we say they are building a new sports center opposite the station. Okay. We can also use it and there as the subject. There are, hay muchas razones. There are plenty of reasons why. Este es el haber que tenemos en español. Hay muchas razones. There are plenty of reasons why. Oh, this one is very common. When on the telephone we ask, who is that? We don't say, I am Maria. You would say, it's Maria, okay? This mistake we do a lot as Spanish speakers, okay? So we can say, oh, who is that? Oh, I'm Maria, or she is Maria. No, we say, it is Maria, okay? Es Maria. And also we use it to refer to a situation, to make emphasis or reference to the situation. I've already made it quite clear that I am not interested. Ya lo he dejado claro. Ese lo es el it, okay? I have already made my point clear that I'm not interested, okay? So that is the use of pronouns. We use me or him or her, they, you, they, and it, okay? Different uses of pronouns, okay? Clear?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, good. So those are pronouns. These are the personal pronouns. Now, let's take a look at the reciprocal and the reflexive. Let's see what is the difference between those two. So, reciprocal are each other, one another, el uno al otro, okay? Each other, el uno al otro. This action involves two or more people doing the same thing to each other, okay? Haciendo lo mismo el uno al otro. The important thing is to try to understand each other. Lo importante es que entendamos al otro, all right? To understand each other. These verbs can take the preposition to, okay? With or to. My cousins haven't spoken to each other for years, all right? En este caso es speak o spoken, lo usaríamos con el to. No se han hablado por años. They haven't spoken to each other for years. One another is more formal, and this is not commonly used, okay? Do you promise to love one another? It's the same as each other forever, okay? This could be used in a formal event, maybe in the marriage, in the ceremony, right? Do you promise to love one another forever? Do you promise to love each other forever? All right, so those are reciprocal. The same, one person doing the same to the other. Reflexive means that the person is doing the action himself or herself, all right? Not another person. So here we say, here are extra towels for you to dry yourself. ¿Para que te seques? Okay, a ti mismo. So if you do it on yourself, so this is a reflexive pronoun, to do it yourself. And we can also use them to emphasize who the pronoun refers to. So he didn't write this speech himself, él no escribió el discurso él mismo. One of his public relations men did it. So he didn't do it himself, someone else did it. All right? Those are reflexive on yourself, reciprocal to each other. All right? So let's practice here. We have 3 sentences. You can use either a personal, a reflexive, or a reciprocal pronoun to complete the sentences. Oh, I have a mistake here. Wait a second. Let me check, double check the presentation. Okay, yeah, I had a mistake here. So let me show it to you again. Yeah, I was missing the gap for number 3, okay? So let's complete the sentences with one pronoun. It can be personal, it can be reciprocal, or it can be reflective. All right, ready? You think you have your answers?
Yes.
Yes,
All right. Let's see, Carlos, can you read the first sentence? How did you complete it?
Yes, teacher. It's my answer. There are going to be road works for the next few weeks. Apparently, each other are within a new roundabout.
Okay, no, in this case, we are using the previous one. So we don't know who is doing it. We say they, right? They are building.
I
So,
only read this slide.
yeah, it's
Yes.
from the previous and this one as well. So
Yes,
they
yes.
are building a new roundabout. We don't know who, so we use they in this case. Gerson, let's see number 2.
Okay, teacher, teamwork is vital. All the same staff should be able to rely on. I don't know sure to each other.
Yeah, on each other.
Okay.
100%.
Okay, teacher.
Yes, on each other. So one doing the same thing to the other, on each other. Very good. And let's see, Elkin for number 3.
Okay, teacher, I'm not very sure, but if you didn't spend so much time admiring yourself in the mirror, we might not be late all the time.
Yeah, admiring yourself. So this is reflexive. Okay?
I don't understand the second, the answer
To
for
rely,
that. Each other.
apoyarse. All the sales staff, todo el staff, los vendedores, deben poder apoyarse en el otro, right? En el uno al otro. Sería el each other. Each other 100%. Okay? This
Okay.
is each other. Okay?
Okay, thank you, teacher.
All right. Good. Well, that's for pronouns, guys. We're about to finish, just a little more. But this topic is a bit long, so that's why I prefer to explain a little bit and practice so that we don't forget all the info. Now we have the uses of this and that. So when we referred forward, to something that we're going to say, something for the future, something that is going to happen, we use this, okay? Sorry. I have to tell you this, but estoy diciendo, preparando algo que voy a decir después. Lamento decirte esto, pero, so I hate to tell you this is something that I am about to say, but, etc. Okay? When we are referring back to something that we said in the past or something that already happened, we use that. I'm sorry about that. Lamento eso. Okay, so this already happened. It won't happen again. Okay, so this is for something in the future, near future, so something that is about to happen. That is for something that already happened. Okay, in British English, the speaker uses this to refer to themselves. They use it, and for others, they use that. So this is very common in calls, right? So they say, hello, this is Alan. When you pick up a phone, this is Laura. Is that Richard? Okay, so when we talk about you, you use this. When we talk about others, you use that. Hello, this is Laura. Who is that, right? ¿Quién es? Who is that? Or is that Richard? Is that Charles? Okay, so that's the use of this or that. Here, very easy, again, 2 minutes to read the sentences and select what is the correct word to complete it. Is it this or that? Okay, Let's have 2 minutes and then we socialize. All right, let's correct. So, Julian, for the first. Hello, reception here. Julian. Not here. Okay, let's see Jazit. Hello, reception here.
Okay, teacher. Hello, recession here. That is your morning alarm clock?
No, it didn't happen. It's happening now.
Ah,
So this is your morning alarm clock.
okay,
It's
teacher.
happening now. All right?
That is past here. Yes,
That
teacher.
is for something in the past. Yeah, something that already happened.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
All right. Lisette Liscano for the second one.
Can you believe that was that Mr. Singh asking us to keep the noise down?
Oh yeah, I made a mistake here. Sorry guys. It was here.
Yes,
I made a mistake there. It was, can you believe that? This is not here. That was Mr. Singh asking us to keep the noise down. Yes, so she already did it, so it's that. And let's see, maybe Maveli, number 3.
3. If only Hamid
Jamie.
Jamie hadn't told Rachel that she wouldn't have left.
Yeah, she wouldn't have told Rachel that, no le hubiera dicho eso, she wouldn't have left him. All right? That. All right, guys. So, is it good? It's clear? Yes?
Yes, teacher.
Yes,
All right.
teacher.
Let's do the final part. This is the last one. Well, this one we are already familiar with it, but let's take a look. So we refer often in text, we refer to things that we have mentioned previously, okay? Or we will refer later in the text. So the pronouns are used often to refer to previous things to avoid repetition, okay? For example, every year the Andersons went on holiday to the same town. They, it's the Andersons, never seem to get bored with it. It refers to the town, okay? So they refers to the Andersons. It refers to the town in Spain, okay? Sometimes this reference can be ambiguous or misunderstood, so we need to be careful with that. Tia took her phone off the table and smashed it into pieces, right? What did she smash, the phone or the table? What do you think? It could be the table. What do you think is the most obvious in this case? It refers to what?
To the phone, teacher?
To the phone, yes, but it can be a little ambiguous, right? So as it's explained here, it could refer to the phone or to the table. In this case, we would avoid using the pronoun to make it clear. Tia took her phone off the table and smashed the phone into pieces, all right? So this would be the most appropriate way. We can also refer to things that are mentioned later in the text. So this is not first mentioning and then the pronoun, but first the pronoun and then we mention the person, okay? This is used as literary device, okay? So this is not very common in speech, it's more for literature. When she got home, Catherine sank into the chair and fell asleep. Entonces, la más común, la que vamos a encontrar es, primero se menciona The Andersons y después se hace la referencia con el they, ¿cierto? El pronombre. Este recurso es más literario. Primero el pronombre, cuando ella llegó a casa, Catherine se hundió en su silla, right? This is more literary, it's not that common in speech, okay? Well, that's all the time we have for today. So, I will share the answer with you so we can finish our class today. So that was all about ellipsis and substitution. If you haven't read all 3 books of the Watchful trilogy yet, then I would recommend all 3 books of the Watchful trilogy. So we need to substitute all of this with a word. What do you think it is? If you haven't read them yet, right? If you haven't read them yet, then I would recommend all 3 books of the Watchful trilogy, okay? Entonces, resumimos todo esta en them, okay? Number 2, there is a man in reception who wants to speak to you. The man in reception says the thing he wants to speak to you about is urgent. Acá debemos reemplazar el the man in reception y the thing that he wants to speak to you. So, there is a man in reception who wants to speak to you. ¿Cuál pondríamos acá? Para reemplazar the man in reception. He says the thing that he wants. ¿Cuál puede ser para reemplazar the thing that he wants to speak to you about? It. He say it is urgent, okay? He said it is urgent. Entonces reemplazamos el sujeto, he, y al objeto también, it. It is urgent, all right? Well, guys, so that's the end of our class for today. So I will ask Teacher Sandy to give you some extra practice of this topic next, so you can continue working on this, all right? Well, guys, that is all. Thank you. And I will see you tomorrow for our exam. Please be on time. And I will share the instructions with you tomorrow, okay? Throughout the day.
Thank
All
you,
right?
teacher.
Thank
Bye-bye,
you,
guys.
teacher.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Good
Thank you,
night.
teacher.
Bye-bye.